As of me recording it right now, there is not really an official word on North American distributor yet. So initially, I was just planning to make one video reviewing the show as a whole whenever I get my hands on it, but looks like that's gonna take a while. So why don't we just dive in a little bit deeper into the trailer meanwhile.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Nice opening, strong. Opening straight on Edmund S. Monte Cristo already. How does he look to you? Does he look like a man who is about to cry, who is really sorry, or a man who is about to do something? Like, I can't really tell, but I want to say the latter.
When was your last confession? 15 years. I fear I...
Ooh. That's obviously supposed to be Chateau d'If, except it's not. I mean, if you've seen pictures, Chateau d'If has different tower structure. And in fact, this is like my third time watching the trailer. I just wanted to research some stuff. And I like this shot so much, I'm into castles big time, that I wanted to see if there is actual real castle that they would have filmed that looked like that, because it looks epic. And the only one I found similar in France, with only one tower that looks like that, of that medieval architecture, was Chateau de Madeleine, yeah, in France, and that's it. There's nothing else. My bad is it's a CGI, which is okay. It would not make a break a story as long as the vibe is there. And as long as the artists get paid well for it, and it's not some AI-generated stuff.
Forsaken God.
That is, you see, there's a nice wide shot of it. Yeah, definitely CGI'd.
What have you? I was robbed of 15 years of my life.
You're under arrest.
Oh, interesting. See, he's being hard on himself. He thinks he sinned because he got robbed of 15 years of his life. So the God punished him for something he has done before. No, poor Edmund, you're fine. You did nothing wrong. We love you.
The only woman I ever loved was taken from me in that time.
Edmund! I'll come back for you!
I've not been put on trial. I'm not a criminal.
You're a spy working for Napoleon.
This is a mistake.
And now, I want revenge. God cannot grant me justice.
Oh, wow. Look, this is what I'm really happy to see. This. When he's thrown off the wall, right there in the water, there's a cannonball tied to his ankles. Now, I hate to say it, I don't want to compare it to the latest French film that I love. It's, in fact, the latest Monte Cristo is my favorite adaptation by far. But they did stinge on this particular moment, which I think is super important, because there's the whole chapter in the book, I think it's called Cemetery of Chateau d'If. And the whole point is Edmund thought he's going to get buried in the actual cemetery right next to the castle. But instead, the cemetery of Chateau d'If is the freaking bottom of the Mediterranean Sea when you get thrown with the cannonball tied to your ankles. Try to get out of there. So looks like they're gonna feature this, and I'm really, really stoked about it. It's a very blood-chilling moment for me, at
I
least.
must achieve it by my own means.
The treasure of Monte Cristo.
We have a boat. We have a boat. Looks like it, that they actually gonna include in the story the smuggler's boat that picked him up after he's already got out of the water, and after the chateau sounded the alarm. They got him, and there was a character named Jacopo, and I actually looked it up. He is in the cast, and I believe he's in all 8 episodes. So Jacopo becomes his friend and ally, and it's amazing that they actually have time and desire to include that in the miniseries, because I think acquiring allies in stories like that along the way is as important as executing revenge on your enemies.
Monte Cristo, I believe, still there.
Hello, Jeremy Irons. Who loves Jeremy Irons? I do. And I'm really excited to see him as Abe Faria, because usually, you know, he plays like big, powerful, religious man. And here it's a little bit something different for him. He's still wise and powerful, but he's very helpless and vulnerable in that particular situation.
Find it, use it to live
Nice.
a full life.
Close up on a treasure.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
All of Paris is talking about you, Count.
I would too.
A woman once lived here.
She married and moved to Paris.
I would have waited if I did not think you were dead.
You see, looks to me, they keep featuring this opera environment, and there's a lot of drama probably happening there. Looks like the first confrontation he's going to have with Mercedes is going to be there when she says, I would have waited if I knew. That's going to be probably, if not the first, well, obviously not the first episode, but it's going to be the reveal.
You must have hope. You cannot live without hope.
I've spent the last 15 years in prison for a crime.
Opera again.
I intend on finding out why. And when I do, I'm going to punish those responsible.
3, there I go. Nice close-up on all the baddies here. And you know what? I don't go to the opera at all, but when it comes to the big dramatical moments like that, I love it. It works fantastic, not only in period pieces, like think about it, Mission Impossible. There's like a big shootout there, any like assassination stuff, plenty of shows, like even the latest, The Day of the Jackal with Eddie Redmayne, there was like a big thing happening in the concert hall. Same thing, so I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Off the law.
You're playing with people's lives.
Or they played with mine. I want to know everything. Especially their weaknesses.
Whoa, slow down. You know when the trailer is about to end. The cuts are just I believe I saw very quickly another shot of Edmund in the bag in the water, which again confirms my theory that they're gonna showcase his escape a little bit more. But then this sequence is mostly, I want to say, Wilford's story. Yeah, now we're talking. That's another thing. Like, it's a birth of his unlawful child, and then we get. Well, then we get to the tea party, which is basically a little spoiler if you haven't read the book. His wife, Madame de Villefort, she, over time, she's been trying to poison the members of his family just to secure the inheritance for her son, and eventually she ends up poisoning her son, and I don't remember if she poisoned herself, but it didn't end up well for her either. And here we see 2 bodies on the floor, and probably Villefort grieving. I don't know what's the deal with the carnival there. I don't remember anything like it. But again, carnivals, can't go wrong with carnivals. Fantastic setting for something big.
Thinking of you is what kept me alive in there.
Love can heal.
See, here she's already somewhat forgiven him. Well, she has nothing to forgive him for, but she's fond of him in this particular shot. And yeah, I think they're gonna stretch their relationship through at least half of the season. It's not gonna be just like, hey, I'm here, don't do it, no, I have to do it kind of thing. So it's gonna get dramatic.
The vengeance I will deliver will equal the crime.
And I got a plane. Anyway, these 2 gentlemen fighting. I don't know who they are. They're older men, obviously not professional duelists. And the guy who is not in the uniform, I want to say my guess would be Wilford's father, which I also did look up. He will be featured in the series, all 8 episodes. Extremely important and well-developed character, part of Wilford's story, and the character that got substituted in the film. Probably the main thing I was not happy about. That French adaptation that I love again.
As long as it takes.
These guys, do you think those are the bandits? There's, again, important stuff in the books. If that's gonna make it to the show, that's a second nice addition. Whoa, that's a full range motion slap. Will Smith have a lot to learn from this one? Maybe he shouldn't.
Yours sincerely, the Count of Monte Cristo.
All right. an 8-part series event. Not that it's an event. And by the looks of it, might as well will be. What can I say? The quality looks really good. The budget is not known officially, but for a TV show, it looks really good. I like it. I was actually, at first, right after I watched the film, French film, December last year, saw this announcement and I saw Sam Claflin, and I was like a little bit skeptical of it because I was still dwelling on the hype of the other film. But now looking more and more at this trailer, I'm kind of buying him in this role. His version, I think, is going to be more grounded. In general, I think he's a good actor, and he has this type that suits period pieces, and I loved his character in the Peaky Blinders. The guy has range. So at first I was on the defensive, now I'm supporting the casting, and the whole casting. The ladies look fantastic, all the villains. Now, do I think all of the characters will be included in this 8-episode miniseries? No, it's impossible. It's just impossible. This particular Dumas book is like so big. Edmund alone, he has like 4 different names that he acquires along his journey, plus other characters, and you gotta stretch it for like 5 seasons, but do you really want to? I honestly think no. You don't need, like, first of all, book adaptations to film and TV, that's a whole different media. It's a whole different story. I'm trying to adapt one of my favorite books, and it's a struggle. I have to cut, even if I don't want to. And even if you do make this long series on the Monte Cristo, like, what's the benefit? The book fanatics know it so well, they watch it, there's not going to be any surprises if it's going to be page by page. That's my personal opinion. I think it's a good start. We'll see after this one, how do we need another one? Maybe in 5-10 years. We had 2 in 2 years, so it will be quiet for a while, but I'm excited. I'll be ready in 2-3 months, 100%. So we'll see how long we're gonna have to wait. So let me know what you think, and if you saw it, try not to spoil if you decide to leave a comment. And thank you so much for watching. Until the next one.